Hi, so you're here for the best guns in Apex, Season 12. You see the list right here. If you want to know more, stay. If that's enough, cool, see ya. So, yeah, it's like the fourth video I do from tier lists, so it's getting kind of repetitive, but yeah, I don't have to talk that much about the guns, especially for the guns that have no changes at all, so we can skip them. Kraber. Yep, already did that. Spitfire, same, strong as ever. Volt, it's now in the care package, so you can't pick it up from the ground, which is a shame for many people, but I'm fine with it. She got stronger with damage and feels a lot stronger. She's now a decent care package weapon, and I would recommend to use it. Tier 1, still the best ground loot weapon you can pick, so never ever skip that if you can. Flatline, still on the same spot, but it got nerfed. She needs now a bullet more for 200 and 225 damage enemies. So yeah, that's a big shame. She didn't drop in rank because the other guns are just not that good. I don't know why they nerfed the flatline, but I think, yeah, it feels the same, but it's still the same gun. Yeah, but it's now just the gap between 301 and flatline was before was quite even. Now it's clear that 301 is way better than the flatline, just for this one bullet that it takes more for the flatline. Wingman, yeah, if you are God, you are God, and then the gun is the best gun in the game. Car, after a full season of testing and playing, yeah, Car is the best SMG for the ground loot, of course. It's better in every possible way than the R99, and yeah, the recoil is a little bit heavy, but let's be honest, the R99 has even worse recoil at some ranges. I put the alternator right behind, between the car and the R9. The alternator is back from the care package, now in ground loot, and it's the reliablest gun you will ever find. It does decent damage. It's a super balanced gun. The hit fire is beyond crazy, and yeah, normally I didn't know if I put it behind the R9 because the R9 is technically better, but the question is, why do you want to run the R9 if you can run a car? It's like it uses the same ammo, the same magazine, everything is the same, but the car is better. So if you really want to use an R9, go for a car. The L-Star swaps places with the Rampage. Rampage got a small nerf, but you will never notice it because the time to kill is the same. But I think the L-Star is still a little bit more noob friendly, even more noob friendly, and has a better time to kill than the Rampage. Rampage has a very slow fire rate, and in my hands the gun doesn't perform that well. For everybody else, like, I see it all the time, and I don't know why, because yeah, it's an easy gun to use, I know, but I mean, there are better guns in the game. Peacekeeper with a big jump. I realized the Peacekeeper is one, if not the best close range gun. Peacekeeper has only one use. I often used it as a finisher weapon, but it's not the purpose of the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper, his job, the Peacekeeper's job is to peek, shoot, hide. And if you hit like an 80 or around that, you just go brain off and just push the guy with your main gun. Don't use your main gun and try to finish him with the Peacekeeper. That's the bad variant. Use it before your main weapon and then it's very strong. G7, still in the same place, still same gun. It's awesome. Use it if you can. Hemlock. Hemlock is the same spot. It's decent if you know how to use it. I struggle a little bit, but I know there's a big potential in this gun. So if you can somehow find the potential in yourself, use it. The Prowler made a bit jump. I think it's still the worst SMG, sadly. That's just because of the burst. If you miss one burst, your time to kill gets way longer than it should be. So yeah, but if you hit your bursts, the gun melts, and I love the gun. The maybe biggest surprise for everybody, but it's actually no surprise. The Mozambique is absolutely insane. Like, I can't say anything about this gun rather than it's just melts with the add-on, with the hammer point. The hammer point makes this gun such a crazy gun. Like, you can, for a shotgun, you can kill people from such long ranges. So yeah, if you sleep on the Mozambique, you have to try it. I even think it's more versatile than the Peacekeeper is. It's the best shotgun all around, but yeah, for engaging fights, it's not the best gun. It's to finish guys in front of your face or in, like, yeah, 200 meters away if you're lucky. Yeah, it's a crazy gun. The Sentinel got a little bit downed because long range engagements in this season will no longer be as effective as it was in the last season. It's still a very good gun to just engage fights, just snipe someone shortly and try to kill them with your main gun. It's, for that reason, it's still very strong. It's same category as the Peacekeeper, but for longer ranges. The 3030 is in a very good state where it is. It just dropped the places against the Prowler and the Mozambique. Yeah, it's still a good gun, so nothing to change at all for it. Havoc. Havoc would be A tier if the turbocharger is included, at least B tier, but this all struggling find of the turbocharger is, yeah, it's so annoying, and the recoil is still very bad. So yeah, if you have a turbocharger, maybe run it some time to time, but yeah, doesn't outperform any guns above without the turbocharger. The D tier starts with the bow. I think the bow is a good gun, especially for silent kills, for sneaky kills. Yeah, but there's still too much guns that better than the bow, so it's deserved on the D tier. The Devotion is a super crazy gun with the turbocharger, but there are so many flaws with it, especially like if you don't have the turbocharger, it's not really that good. And if you have the turbocharger, you need like a low bar or many people that run energy you kill, because this gun eats ammo. It eats the ammo like no other gun. Like the R9 is coming close to it. So yeah, that's a big downside. So you will never really have enough ammo for this gun if you have a turbocharger. And if you don't have a turbocharger, yeah, just don't run it, you will die. Hammer Point made a return in this season, so that's why the RE45 and the P2020 made a big jump. The RE45 is in general better than the P2020, I personally would like to use the P2020 more, but that's personal preference. I still think the RE45 will outperform the P2020, but yeah, it's on you which one you will use. They are both finisher weapons, so don't engage with those guns. They are more for enemies that are weak and with no shield, of course, because then you can melt them with the hammer point add-on. The E and F tier is the tier that I will never recommend. I will never use those guns and never pick them up. Starting with the longbow. The longbow, they all have more flaws than pros. So yeah, especially if for the long range engagements, there are not that many this season. The triple take also got nerfed with damage and with pellet wideness, which I never knew existed. So the gun, yeah, for every shot you do, you're more likely to don't hit every pellet. And yeah, the gun feels completely different this season. So yeah, if you love it, I don't know why, please don't use it. Imagine the Mastiff isn't the worst shotgun in the game. Imagine. It does like no damage at all. The only time it does damage is if you're right in front with your enemy. And just having a gun for that situation, there are many other guns that do the same job, but better and at any other ranges. So yeah, I don't know what it is with Mastiff. The Mastiff is just so bad. The charge rifle, I see recently some pros that are using it, but they're using it for damage farming. Yeah, they do get some knocks sometimes, but most of the time they don't get the kill because yeah, you are like half across the map and never ever get the kill for those guys you knock. So even if you think you're making a lot of damage with this gun, you don't benefit from the damage. So yeah. And finally, it was once the best shotgun and was one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary. And now it's the worst gun. Like, yeah, the Eva, it's the same with the Mastiff. You can make damage, but only on very close ranges. If you go a little bit further, this gun makes like no damage. Like, no. So you can even see it in the clips. Like, yeah, if I see it, it's so sad because back then it was like my main secondary, and if I saw it, I was like immediately pick up, and now it's like, oh no, an Eva. Damn. Please give me something else. Anything else. Please.